the government must have enough food for Kenyans in case of emergency, at least 4 million bags at any one time. If we don't have 4 million bags, then we must have an equivalent in cash. As of now, we in the Strategic Food Reserve Board, we have, today we have 1.7 bags of million bags of 90 kilos of food that we've actually put on sale. In May, we put this to the millers to come and buy. And so far, they have only bought 1.24 million of that 1.7, 1.24, meaning that 760 bags of 90 kg is yet to be collected, is yet to be paid for. So it's not true to say that National Cereals and Produce Board, there is no maize. The maize that is there is 760,000 bags, which we offered in May. And of course, along with that, we have 2 million bags, including what we bought this year. It is true that some maize is already coming from Uganda. I happen to live in Trans Nzoia, and I can tell you for sure that some lorries are already coming from Uganda with maize. Tanzania, we have some maize already coming from Tanzania. My board has taken an opportunity to visit the millers who we had promised to sell this maize. The whole of last week, we were in Kirinyaga, we were in Murang'a, we have been in Machakos. Next week, we'll be in Rift Valley, we'll go to Kajiado, and we'll go to South Rift, we'll go to Migori to see how the millers are handling the crop that, the maize that we have sold to them. I think these members of parliament will share with me when I say that quite a number of farmers also still have some maize. Perhaps they think that the price is going to go up. They still have some maize. You are aware that rains delayed for about 1 and 1.5 months as far as South Rift is, as far as North Rift and Western is concerned. I can speak from that point of view that the rains delayed for about 1.5 months. But the maize that has been planted looks very good. And the farmers are saying that this time the maize is looking better because they used the proper fertilizer. So we are very hopeful that this year we're going to get a very, very good crop. We hope that in around about September, we'll start receiving maize from some of the areas in Kenya, particularly Western, Bomet, and places like that. We'll start harvesting. So if you were to bring in 12 million bags, what would you do with them? 12 million bags, and we are going to start buying maize from farmers in 2-3 months' time. You bring in 0.5 million bags, and our mandate is very clear. Our mandate at any one time, the government must have enough food for Kenyans in case of emergency, at least 4 million bags at any one time. If we don't have 4 million bags, then we must have an equivalent in cash. Equivalent in cash, meaning that if we don't have maize in Kenya, we can then use that fund to import maize.
President and the members of the Fourth Estate. Speaking on behalf of counties, we all know that agriculture is a devolved function, and we are the people who are on the ground dealing with farmers on a daily basis. One, I want to agree with the chair that this year we are expecting a bumper harvest, unlike other years where we've been struggling with fertilizer issue. I think this year, when you go around, you'll realize that we have a very good maize crop, and in the next few months, our farmers will be harvesting their maize. And as we speak now, there are still farmers who are still holding their maize in their stores because of the prices that were interfered with the importation of maize from Mexico. And we want to say to tell the government, and specifically the Minister of Agriculture, when dealing with the issue of maize, we need all the stakeholders to be brought on board. We have the strategic food reserve, we have the county governments, and we have also the farmers. Where was this meeting that was held and decided that maize need to be imported? We are not aware as county governments, and we want to request that before they even start thinking of importing maize, can they have a meeting? And more importantly, can they come to the ground? Because we know, we can tell you specific farmers who still have maize in their stores, money at the expense of our farmers. As we speak now, most of the farmers had to sell part of their land so that they could invest back in their farms. So are we going to see our farmers struggling? And we have enough maize.